This is my first reading vlog, so I apologise if it's a complete disaster, but hopefully it won't be too bad. I decided to read, I have first two books for Call the Midwife by Jennifer Worth. I have Call the Midwife, and then I have Cries of the Workhouse. So I'm going to read both of these, and I'm going to watch some of the episodes of the TV show and kind of see how it compares. I have watched the first season of Called Midwife before, quite a while ago, but I've never read the books, although I have had them on my shelf probably since the first time I watched the show. Yeah, so far I'm about a quarter into the first book, and it's good so far. Like, I like the vibe that it's got going. It's a little bit more emotional in some parts than the TV show is, I think, because it is all Jenny's own words and none of it has been, embellished for or added to for the TV show. So I do like where that's going. It's kind of fun to see. about halfway through the first book of Call the Midwife, and it's pretty dark in some places. I was not really expecting that. I know some of the episodes in the first season had a little bit, but this definitely goes into a lot more detail than I was expecting. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. It is quite a bit darker than the TV show, at least to me. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind a little bit of darkness in my books, but I definitely wasn't expecting it in this. Yeah. It goes into a lot more detail about some of the personal lives of some of the patients, and it's quite interesting, and a lot of descriptions about the areas around Poplar, as Jenny was hearing about them and seeing them. And that's like a level of detail that is not in the TV show either. I'm also about halfway through the first season of Call Midwife, and yeah, honestly, I'm preferring the books, but the TV show is fine. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I've been reading the book and then watching the episodes on and off, and so it's kind of interesting seeing reading about some of the cases and then seeing them unfold on screen as well, like really closely after. A lot of the details about some of the cases were changed in the show. Some of the details and some of the situations have been different. I guess to give it more drama, although I find the book pretty dramatic, so I didn't really need extra tweaks, but it's fine. I guess this way they kind of covered slightly more of the cases than Jenny did, in a way, just because she went into each one individually, whereas the TV show, it seems like it's combined several of them to make a little bit more organized, I guess. I don't know. So far it's pretty good. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna read tonight. It's already about midnight, so debating whether I want to stay up and try and finish the book tonight so that I can start the second one tomorrow. finished the first book and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I really liked that it didn't gloss over how awful the living conditions were in Poplar at the time, and it didn't try to make it seem like overly happy or shiny or any of that. It was just very raw, very gritty, very real, and I really liked that. Like, it was pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm going to give that 4 stars. I'm going to start second book now, Shadows of the Workhouse, and yeah, so I'm going to see how that one is. So I'm partway through Call the Midwife, Shadows of the Workhouse, which is book 2. So far it's pretty good. There's a lot of history on the workhouses, which I didn't know about, which is really cool. And then there's some like personal stories about it too, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm not super far into it. I'm only about 30 pages or so. But yeah, so far it's pretty good. Not very different from the first book. Same kind of style, same kind of grit. Definitely not super happy shiny music. Not super pleasant so far. But I am enjoying it. Tales of the Workhouse, which is book 2 in the Called Midwife series. I really liked it a lot. It was a lot faster of a read than the first one I found. I got through a lot quicker. This one focuses on just the workhouses and the history, and goes into a lot of detail about some of the people that lived there, and then like the history of the workhouses and kind of the way they evolved over the years. Didn't really go into any, there wasn't any like midwifery stuff in this one. It was all just the workhouse. The information, like the history behind it all, was really interesting too. It's really quite dark and gritty. Like it's not a nice story, but I didn't expect it to be. I enjoyed reading it, but not a pleasant tale. But yeah, so I'm gonna rate this one 4 stars, like I did with the book 1. I really enjoyed these 2 books. I thought they were really interesting reads. They're quite fast to read and quite entertaining. I don't normally read a ton of non-fiction memoir type books, but these ones were really interesting, so I'm glad that I did it. Yeah, so that's my blog. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry if it was completely chaotic and crazy, but I had fun, so that's all that matters, right? See you next time. Bye.